हम सफर से कहीं ज्यादा सबकी मुस्कान का है तू वादा। रोज नया कुछ करते हो तुम, ख्वाब प्यारे प्यारे बुनते हो तुम। तुम हो तुमसे कहीं ज्यादा, तुम हो तुमसे कहीं ज्यादा, तुम हो तुमसे कहीं ज्यादा, तुम हो तुमसे कहीं ज्यादा। हम सफर से कहीं ज्यादा सबकी मुस्कान का है तू वादा। रोज नया कुछ करते हो तुम, ख्वाब प्यारे प्यारे बुनते हो तुम। तुम हो तुमसे कहीं ज्यादा, तुम हो तुमसे कहीं ज्यादा, तुम हो तुमसे कहीं ज्यादा, तुम हो तुमसे कहीं ज्यादा। हम सफर से कहीं ज्यादा सबकी मुस्कान का है तू वादा। रोज नया कुछ करते हो तुम, ख्वाब प्यारे प्यारे बुनते हो तुम। तुम हो तुमसे कहीं ज्यादा, तुम हो तुमसे कहीं ज्यादा, तुम हो तुमसे कहीं ज्यादा, तुम हो तुमसे कहीं ज्यादा। हम सफर से कहीं ज्यादा सबकी मुस्कान का है तू वादा। रोज नया कुछ करते हो तुम, ख्वाब प्यारे प्यारे बुनते हो तुम। तुम हो तुमसे कहीं ज्यादा, तुम हो तुमसे कहीं ज्यादा, तुम हो तुमसे कहीं ज्यादा, तुम हो तुमसे कहीं ज्यादा। हम सफर से कहीं ज्यादा सबकी मुस्कान का है तू वादा। रोज नया कुछ करते हो तुम, ख्वाब प्यारे प्यारे बुनते हो तुम। तुम हो तुमसे कहीं ज्यादा, तुम हो तुमसे कहीं ज्यादा, तुम हो तुमसे कहीं ज्यादा, तुम हो तुमसे कहीं ज्यादा। हम सफर से कहीं ज्यादा सबकी मुस्कान का है तू वादा। रोज नया कुछ करते हो तुम, ख्वाब प्यारे प्यारे बुनते हो तुम। तुम हो तुमसे कहीं ज्यादा, तुम हो तुमसे कहीं ज्यादा, तुम हो तुमसे कहीं ज्यादा, तुम हो तुमसे कहीं ज्यादा। हम सफर से कहीं ज्यादा सबकी मुस्कान का है तू वादा। रोज नया कुछ करते हो तुम, ख्वाब प्यारे प्यारे बुनते हो तुम। तुम हो तुमसे कहीं ज्यादा, तुम हो तुमसे कहीं ज्यादा, तुम हो तुमसे कहीं ज्यादा, तुम हो तुमसे कहीं ज्यादा। हम सफर से कहीं ज्यादा सबकी मुस्कान का है तू वादा। रोज नया कुछ करते हो तुम, ख्वाब प्यारे प्यारे बुनते हो तुम। तुम हो तुमसे कहीं ज्यादा, तुम हो तुमसे कहीं ज्यादा, तुम हो तुमसे कहीं हम सफर से कहीं ज्यादा सबकी मुस्कान का है तू वादा, रोज नया कुछ करते हो तुम, ख्वाब प्यारे प्यारे बुनते हो तुम। तुम हो तुमसे कहीं ज्यादा, तुम हो तुमसे कहीं ज्यादा, तुम हो तुमसे कहीं ज्यादा, तुम हो तुमसे कहीं ज्यादा। हम सफर से कहीं ज्यादा सबकी मुस्कान का है तू वादा, रोज नया कुछ करते हो तुम, ख्वाब प्यारे प्यारे बुनते हो तुम। तुम हो तुमसे कहीं ज्यादा, तुम हो तुमसे कहीं ज्यादा, तुम हो तुमसे कहीं ज्यादा, तुम हो तुमसे कहीं ज्यादा। हम सफर से कहीं ज्यादा सबकी मुस्कान का है तू वादा, रोज नया कुछ करते हो तुम, ख्वाब प्यारे प्यारे बुनते हो तुम। तुम हो तुमसे कहीं ज्यादा, तुम हो तुमसे कहीं ज्यादा, तुम हो तुमसे कहीं ज्यादा, तुम हो तुमसे कहीं ज्यादा। हम सफर से कहीं ज्यादा सबकी मुस्कान का है तू वादा, रोज नया कुछ करते हो तुम, ख्वाब प्यारे प्यारे बुनते हो तुम। तुम हो तुमसे कहीं ज्यादा, तुम हो तुमसे कहीं ज्यादा, तुम हो तुमसे कहीं ज्यादा, तुम हो तुमसे कहीं ज्यादा। हम सफर से कहीं ज्यादा
Hi, good evening all. We are about to start. Please stay with us for a minute. Can we have the AV, please?
You have always lived your life independently. You have worked late at nights, be it household expenses, child's education cost, or fulfilling their desires. You've managed all on your own. Then why depend on someone else after retirement? The recent studies have shown that Indians may run out of savings in 9 years post-retirement, based on their current income and wealth expectations. In this era of ever-growing, you have always lived your life independently. You have worked late at nights, be it household expenses, child's education cost, or fulfilling their desires. You've managed all on your own. Then why depend on someone else after retirement? The growing expenses and uncertain times. Are you fully equipped to continue your lifestyle without an income? If not, then it's time to think, because you are the key to your happiness. That is why it is so crucial to secure your tomorrow along with your today. So, reach out to your Max Life agent advisor today and take a small step towards securing your financial freedom post-retirement with product solutions offered by Max Life Insurance. Get financial freedom for life with Dream Retirement Kavada. Because for your loved ones, you are the difference.
Good evening, all. Welcome to today's webinar. I welcome all our colleagues from agency, APC, and IMF, along with our agent advisors and IMF partners. I am Vinod Yadav, your host for the evening. I am part of channel marketing team at Max Life Insurance, and it's a pleasure to be with you all today on this platform. What we will talk here today is something that matters to all of us, something that impacts us as a sales professional. Yes, I'm talking about retirement opportunity in India. Let me share some numbers with you. The life expectancy in India is increasing, and so are the medical expenses. The medical inflation is at 14 to 15% currently. What it means, health cost may become 4 times of what it was 10 years back. We need to plan for that. Inflation is impacting the cost of everything. At just 5% inflation, a rupee 100 will have the value of rupees 95 in just 1 year's time. One needs to plan for that. Unlike US and UK, in India, in private sector, we don't have state-sponsored pensions, which means we will be on our own after retirement. One needs to plan for that. Our children, when they grow up, they are going to relocate elsewhere for better jobs, for better opportunity. They may not have the time to allocate resources for parents back home. We need to plan for that. Hence, it's important to start planning for our retirement, or I should say, we should start planning for our retirement as soon as possible. And for that, we have somebody today very special. But before I introduce him, let me first of all welcome our very own Mr. Anurag Gupta, Head Agency Program, Transformation and Growth Initiative. Welcome, Anurag Gupta.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Vinod. I'm delighted to be here. Almost 800 people have joined the seminar. I'm sure more and more people are joining. आज का topic काफी interesting है, Vinod. You know, and I've been thinking about retirement planning, because in life insurance business, we cover two major risks, right? The one risk is dying too soon, right? For which we provide the basic life insurance, we provide, pure protection plans. Objective is that if something happens to, the life, the family member, the person who's earning the livelihood, family's dreams and aspirations are not impacted, right? Which is dying too soon. The other one, the other risk of life is living too long, मतलब रिटायरमेंट होने के बाद आप जितना आपने प्लान किया था उससे ज्यादा आप जी गए, राइट? ये रिस्क बहुत सारे लोग नहीं देखते, राइट? एंड मैं जब देख रहा था, जब रिटायरमेंट प्लानिंग हिंदुस्तान में बात होती है, सो रिटायरमेंट प्लानिंग इज ऑलमोस्ट लाइक टेकिंग प्रिकॉशन अगेंस्ट कोरोना वायरस। ओके, तो कुछ लोग हैं जो रेगुलर वो हाथ धोते हैं, दे वॉश देयर हैंड्स फॉर 20 seconds. When they go out, they wear mask. I see some people are wearing mask even on this webcast. And I also see some people maintain social distancing, which we are doing on a digital platform. But कुछ और तरह के लोग भी हैं. There are people जिनको लगता है यार भगवान उनका ध्यान रखेगा. God is with them. The God will look after them. Okay? उनको कुछ नहीं होगा. They are blessed kids of God. और तीसरे तरह के लोग हैं जिनको लगता है यार कुछ नहीं, अगर हो भी जाएगा तो ठीक हो जाएंगे. How does it matter? There are so many people recovering in India. Even if we get coronavirus, it's okay. We will get recovered. So when I compare it with retirement planning, it exactly works like this. There are people who meticulously plan for it, जो रेगुलरली सेव करते हैं अपने रिटायरमेंट के लिए. हर महीने दे नो ये अमाउंट मेरे रिटायरमेंट के लिए मैं अलग रखूंगा, राइट? और वो इंश्योर करते हैं कि उनका पोर्टफोलियो वेल बैलेंस्ड हो. दूसरे तरह के लोग हैं जो कहते हैं यार मैं ना बच्चों को बड़ा कर दूं, बच्चों की पढ़ाई करा दूं, माई किड्स विल टेक केयर ऑफ मी. ओके, एंड देयर आर थर्ड टाइप ऑफ पीपल हु से यार देखा जाएगा जो होगा, रिटायरमेंट के टाइम देखेंगे, अभी से क्या परेशान होना. इट्स टू अर्ली फॉर मी टू थिंक अबाउट रिटायरमेंट, राइट? सो आई थिंक today's session is about busting some myths, some misconception we have about retirement planning. Okay, and I think we couldn't have find a better speaker than Sudipto. For everybody, Sudipto is a retirement expert. पिछले 10 सालों से Sudipto retirement planning, retirement coaching के बारे में लोगों को बता रहे हैं. He's been associated with a very prestigious organization, which Vinod will talk about it. And today's session, आप लोग सब लोग बच्चों की एजुकेशन, बच्चों की मैरिज, डेथ बेनिफिट, इन सब के बारे में बात करते हैं. आज हम आपको कुछ टॉप पॉइंट्स देंगे जिससे आप ये याद रखें जब आप कस्टमर से मिल रहे हैं, कस्टमर ऑल्सो हैज अ वेरी बिग रिस्क, दैट इज लिविंग टू लॉन्ग, राइट? एंड मिस्टर सुदीप्तो विल टॉक अबाउट द फैक्ट कि हिंदुस्तान में एवरेज लाइफ कैसे बढ़ती चली जा रही है, राइट? बिकॉज ऑफ मेडिकल एडवांसमेंट. सो प्लीज सिट टाइट, मेक नोट्स. ऑब्जेक्टिव ये है कि आप आज के सेमिनार के बाद यू शुड बी एबल टू get some insights about retirement, which should help you sell retirement solution to your customers. So with that, thank you, Vinod. Back to you.
Thanks, Anurag. And I think the right time for us to introduce our guest speaker for today, Mr. Sudipto Roy. Mr. Sudipto Roy is founder and director FinLabs India Private Limited, currently setting up a fintech startup focusing on technology-enabled financial services and analytics products, catering to areas of investment, advisory, financial planning, and portfolio analysis. Mr. Roy is member of the Pension Fund Regulatory and Development Authority Examination Committee. Mr. Roy has been a speaker on the subject of retirement for last 11 years. Previously, he was the managing director of Principal Retirement Advisors, and he was entrusted with the leadership responsibility in 2011 to start India's first dedicated retirement solutions specialist. He was also vice president with Kotak Life Insurance. In his career of spanning over 26 years, Mr. Roy brings deep insight about the Indian consumer market, financial solutions, and products for retail and institutional clients. With that, please join me in welcoming Mr. Sudipto Roy. Mr. Roy?
Hi, good evening. Yes, I
Good
was
evening.
unmuted by host now, so I can talk.
Good evening
Good
and
evening,
welcome.
everybody, and everybody staying safe and staying at home and not taking any risk. Uh, Thank you, Vinod. Thank you, Anurag, for giving me an opportunity to speak about it. It's very, very close to my heart, this topic, and I've been talking about it for quite a long time. Uh, this is a very one of my favorite subject, retirement planning, and a new perspective has come in today. What Anurag has told about retirement planning, comparing with that of coronavirus, rightly put it by Anurag. But beyond that, I think we really need to sit tight and really need to think through what is retirement planning and how we are placed as a country, as people of India, where are we placed, and what are the issues and challenges we are facing at this point of time. So I have a very short presentation because I can talk about retirement for the whole day, but you will get bored. So I have a very short presentation, which I want to show it right now. Yes. So these are some of the key sources of Indians' retirement income area. So Pillar Zero is the first is termed and is a non-contributory social pension framework, typically financed by the government, which provides a very minimal level of old age income. It has not gained that much of significance. Moved on to Pillar One, which is a defined benefit pension framework, which is primarily tax expense funded and seeks to replace some portion of pre-superannuation income. In India, this pillar was done away with for government employees in 2004, when the government transitioned from defined benefit to defined contribution pension for all employees joining from January 2004, excluding the defense services, of course. Pillar 2 is the occupational pension. This is the third pillar. It's also mandatory, but in the form of a defined contribution pension system from the subscriber. In India, this pillar has a long history in the form of Employees Provident Fund, but lacks depth because of the low share of the organized sector in the country's economy. Pillar 3 is voluntary, which is gaining importance, which is gaining significance. This pillar is voluntarily opted for by subscribers. Plans such as the voluntary segment of the National Pension System, the Atal Pension Yojana, mutual fund retirement plans, pension plans from insurance companies, and public provident fund come under this pillar. The Indian economy is on an uptrend and is currently the fifth wealthiest economy in the world. One disclaimer in my presentation is that these numbers which I'm going to show are some of the data points are all pre-COVID. Okay, so they may change after we come out of this pandemic. On a positive note, the enrollment in the unorganized sector grew at 54% CAGR during the period 2012 to 2017. The introduction of Atal Pension Yojana and Swavalamban scheme has helped to subscribe of various pension schemes, resulted in a compounded average growth of 36%. But what you have seen on the right-hand corner of my presentation is that only 12% of the workforce is covered under a pension product. So you can imagine, what is store for all of us, like whosoever is into this business, in the financial services business, has got the scope for covering the market. Can we move to the next slide? Now, this is a very, very important point. The growth of the elderly population in India is outpacing our population growth. Since the early 70s, the Indian fertility rate has fallen from 5.4 to 2.4, while life expectancy, as mentioned by Anurag a few minutes back, at birth has risen from 49 to 68. The result is an inexorable aging of the population. Throughout India's long history until the mid-1990s, the elderly defined in this presentation as adults aged 60 and over never comprised more than 5 or 6% of the overall total country's population. But by 2015, that share has risen to 9%. And projected number by 2050, UN projects that it will reach 19%, which is a huge, huge rise. But having a youthful working age population should be a reason for optimism. Yet some caution is needed. By 2050, the proportion of the elderly 60 plus is likely to increase almost 3 times since its level at the turn of the century. A significant proportion of the future elderly population, especially new elderly across Asia, is going to stay in India. Sorry, nobody can see me, so now people can see me. I'm sorry about it. Yeah. So can you move on to the next slide? Yes, this is the potential support ratio indicates that the responsibility of supporting the needs of the elderly population is likely to increase in relation to the younger working age. The potential support indicates a steady and constant decline between 2000 and 2050. In fact, the ratio is coming down from 13.8 is to 1 per person to 5. So nearly 1/3 than what it was in the beginning of the century. So any guess what will be end of the century? People are projecting that it will be around 2.3%. That's why India is one of the countries which is ranked at very low in Allianz Pensions Sustainability Index. Even though the elderly could still be supported financially by their children, though it's a myth which we will discuss later on, through remittances or other methods, a lot of geriatrics needs, the old age needs will still remain unmet. Whenever you go and meet your client or you meet your customer, people you come across, they say about, that they will be supported in the retirement period by their children. But it's changing. बहुत सारे कुछ चेंजेस आने वाला है अगले दिनों में, तो हम वो सब बात करेंगे ये स्लाइड पे. कैन वी मूव ऑन टू द नेक्स्ट स्लाइड? सबको पता है कि लाइफ एक्सपेक्टेंसी इज इंक्रीजिंग ड्यू टू मेडिकल एडवांसेस, improved lifestyle and the ability to afford healthcare. But problem है कि this leads to a person outliving his retirement purpose. A rising life expectancy, which was in 1975-80 when he is retiring, say at the age of 60, was 14 or 15 years. So he will stay, say, around till 75. Now it is going up to 20. So he will live till 80 years of age. So over the years, the life expectancy of the elderly population has increased gradually. Life expectancy at age 60 was 14.6 years. It is likely to reach 19.9 years by 2045 to 50. With increase, this has happened with increased access to medical facilities and rising penetration of health and medical insurance. It may increase at a slightly more rapid pace in the future. Socioeconomic challenges due to aging will become more and more pronounced. Population aging combined with rising longevity, declining morbidity, आप लोग सब अभी मॉर्बिडिटी टर्म सुन रहे हैं कि कोमॉर्बिडिटी है, इसीलिए कोरोना वायरस में affected हो रहा है. So, but there is a declining comorbidity and medical care inflation risks will pose immense challenges. Even though India's young population will continue to grow, in the next few decades, the economic implications of a longer term decrease in the labor force cannot be ruled out. The demand for healthcare and pension provisions will definitely be on the rise and clearly highlight the increasing importance of preparing for retirement. Though the availability of pensions, personal savings, and healthcare assistance will be a matter of importance. Next. This is a slide, I picked it up from a report which very recently done as early as 2018 for sending some questionnaires to around 2,000 respondents. Very key points which have come out. 90% of the people are saying that value of savings and assets might not keep up with inflation. 90% of the responses are telling that there is a declining interest rate, which we are seeing it. The savings in the bank account has come down. Savings in fixed deposit has come down. The return in fixed income has drastically come down. On the other side, 89% are talking about there is an increase in the tax. 89% of the people are saying that they are worried about for providing health care cost beyond social insurance medical supplement. 88% are saying about a chronic illness may drain my lifelong savings. 87% government or company will reduce health or medical insurance benefit. 72% are saying that my child or children may take care of me and my spouse during retirement. You know, when I was growing up, my father thought I will be the retirement benefit plan for him. And I have supported him throughout his retirement stage. Though he was a government pensioner, he used to work, he was in army. But I don't expect that my daughter will take care of me. I have to do it on my own. And 71%, mostly people are saying that they have not started planning for retirement, which is very, very alarming. Can we move to the next slide? Yeah. Now, this is the key findings of the study. 52% of the respondents do not work with financial professionals. Here you people come. You are the flag bearer. आप जाके समझाइए सबको, बोलिए रिटायरमेंट प्लानिंग का क्या जरूरी है, क्या जरूरत है, क्या कर सकता है, क्या हो सकता है अगर रिटायरमेंट प्लानिंग ठीक टाइम पे नहीं हो सकता है. There is a huge scope for everybody. 66% of the respondents across India considered it their own responsibility to fund their retirement. 60% responded regret they started saving late for retirement or did not start saving at all. And 75% say though they have started their savings, but there is a gap in retirement funds when they turn age 60. Now there are a lot of myths, but I picked up the 3 important myths for retirement. You know, it is too early to start thinking about retirement. अभी भी 20 साल बाकी है मेरा रिटायरमेंट का, अभी क्यों सोचूं मैं, और थोड़े दिन जाने दीजिए, उसके बाद मैं सोचना चालू करता हूं. That's not correct. You have to think. Again, the other part is that I don't have money to save. And we have discussed repeatedly, both Anurag and I'm going on telling that, you know, people have their mindset that my children are my retirement plan. It was before, 1 generation back, 2 generation back, but not in the coming future, not for us. Next one, please. These are some of the common retirement planning mistakes. Not knowing how much you want in retirement. A very clear questions we face all across. कितना बचाओ, कितना लगेगा मेरे को मालूम नहीं है. Underestimating the impact of inflation. Not taking into account post-retirement goals. मैं क्या करना चाहता हूँ after retirement? I can travel across, or I can pursue my hobbies. I don't know what I'm going to do after my retirement. Obviously started saving too late. One of the very, very important common retirement planning mistake is that invested only in fixed income products. I'm not comparing one product against the other, but people put, eggs in the one basket only. They put only in fixed income products, but interest rates are coming down. So will it suffice when you come to the retirement age to take care of your retirement, post-retirement needs? Another important, and this is typical, very typical for India, is that retirement corpus, withdrew retirement corpus for other needs. I just give an example. During this COVID period, you must have seen it. Some 32,000 odd crore have come out of EPFO. I know there is challenges. There are challenges in the market. People are struggling. Income level has come down. All things are happening. I'm not denying that fact. But 32,000 crores have come out of EPFO. And of course, there is a rising healthcare cost, underestimating that. Next slide. So these are challenges which I point down as, in retirement planning. High life expectancy, which is living longer. People, I remember many of my earlier generation, my parents and their brother and all, after retirement, 60, 65 people will die. Now, in the last 1 or 2 weeks, I'm hearing, due to COVID, due to others, there are a lot of death news are coming in. You must be also hearing it. My friends, father-in-law or father, or my very close relatives, mother or somebody is dying. But when I started asking the age, I'm getting an average age of 82 to 90. So, high life expectancy has already started coming in India. Early retirement, previously people think that they will continue till 60 and then they will, so your post-retirement age will be by 60 to 70, 10 years. But what is happening is that your work life is coming down. People are taking early retirement or VRS or pursuing their hobbies. They are retiring at 45, but they are living till 75, 80. So your retirement life is more than your working life. So people are working less with less job security, but they are living long. Added with high inflation, rapidly rising cost of living. Very important point, joint family system gives way to nuclear families. Previously, many of us have grown up our childhood days with, a joint family system. We have our uncles and my father's brother and sisters, and everybody was staying together. Now, it's a nucleus family. Hum do, hamara do. Most of the time. So joint family systems gives way to nuclear families. You are on your own, you have to take care of your own. And over and above, with growing aspiration and growing, education system, our kids are going away. They are going away from where they are staying. Maybe within India, they are going away, or they are going outside of India. Obviously, increased consumption, widespread use of credit, and lesser savings. Rising lifestyle and old age diseases. No defined retirement benefit, which I think Vinod has mentioned, that like US and UK, we don't have any social security system in place. And reduced interest rate on the debt instruments, your fixed income. So what are the retirement planning products available in the market? So these are small saving products for senior citizen savings scheme, post office monthly income scheme, public provident fund. Or we have got bank products or bonds like senior citizen fixed deposits or tax-free bonds. Obviously, you guys are from the insurance industry. You know that in insurance plays a very important role in the retirement. Savings and income plans, ULIPs play a very important role, and retirement schemes. Mutual funds, both in equity, debt, and hybrid products are available. But I suggest, and I always keep on telling people that please don't venture out into bitcoins or chit fund or unlisted equities. And I also sometimes I say that don't expose yourself too much into real estate. Next, please. Yes. So, if I may have to conclude quickly, there's a big retirement opportunity. Individual financial assets in India would grow at a CAGR of 15.04% to reach 320 million lakh crores from 262 lakh crores now. Individual wealth in insurance will grow from 36 lakh crore to 72 lakh crores at a CAGR of 14.6%, 2019-24. Again, these are all pre-COVID numbers. As per the latest RBI report, life insurance funds held by Indian households constitute 38.81 lakh crore. This constitutes 23.2% of total household financial assets, which is second only to commercial bank deposits. So insurance industry is growing, and it has still a lot, there is a lot of place there to target and grow further. There can be a million millionaires in India by 2027. India is targeting to become a $5 trillion economy by 2025. So just as a rising tide lifts all boats, a galloping growth in the number of HNIs also means the India's massive middle class, estimated to be a 350 million out of a total population of 1.3 billion, will also gain. Some few pointers here when we picked up from that analysis or the report is that 86% across India stated that they are willing to convert a portion of their assets to continue to generate to annuities and to generate retirement income, which is a massive number, 86%. But they want to put the money in conservative product which features guaranteed income for life, predictable returns, and help to preserve capital. Another quick pointer here, which I want to highlight here, and then I will end because time is running away, is that people are getting their sources from where they are getting or coming to know about retirement planning or retirement information. 19% of the respondent whom they taken the questionnaire, they said that they are coming to know about it from their financial advisor or insurance agent, followed by 18% from internet. So you guys play a very, very important role, and you are the flag bearer of the financial services. So go and get it. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Roy. I think that was very insightful. We knew already that retirement is an important segment for us, but now we also understand how big and why. Thank you so much, Mr. Roy. With that, we move to the next section, which is about conversation between Anurag Gupta and Mr. Sudipto Roy. We have some curated questions for you. Let's watch out what they have to share with us. Anurag and Mr. Roy, over to you.
All right. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Roy. I think some of us knew about the facts, but, you bring that objectivity, the neutrality to the entire conversation, not being associated with life insurance. Still, I think the way you have brought in the need for, retirement planning to all of us is very inspiring. I have made some notes. For instance, what you said is only 12% people in India are covered under any kind of formal pension, which leaves us with a huge opportunity to provide retirement solution to people. Second, you said that the retired people will grow almost 3 times in the next 20 to 25 years. Third point, which I liked and which some of us somehow ignore, is the longevity risk. Earlier, people used to live till about 65, at best 70, right? With the advancement of medical science, this longevity has increased to 75 at an overall level. But when I look at the urban longevity, it has increased to about 84, 85.
Correct, correct.
Which means if people don't plan well, they will run out of money.
Agree.
And most important thing is retirement life is going to be more than the working life, which is very interesting. I'm going to remember it. That retirement life is going to be longer than the working life. So you'll have to ensure that during your working life, you accumulate enough for, for the retired life. So I was thinking few questions, Mr. Roy, if you're okay.
Sure.
I think your video is turned off. If you can turn on the video, we can all watch you.
You can watch me?
Yeah, we can watch you.
So I'm with a mask, okay?
What do you think is the right age? I know it's a lame question, but I'll still ask. What is the right age for a person to start planning for retirement? किस समय start करे वो आदमी? 30 साल, 50 साल, 45 साल? What is the right age?
Very good question, Anurag. I think सबके मन में वही आता है कि कब से चालू करूं, 20 साल से चालू करूं या 25 साल से चालू करूं, कभी चालू करूं. Now, if I go back, I always give a live example. If I ask my daughter, she is 23, and I ask her, why don't you start right now? Oh, what is retirement? I am not looking at retirement. But for all of us, I think the best time to start preparing for any goal is yesterday. The second best time is now, isn't it?
Yeah.
So also the first step in doing this to understand how important the retirement goal is, people put retirement goal the very last. They don't take it immediately. But however, to make things more practical as individuals, we are more focused in things that are urgent as compared to important. Don't you agree with me? Let me explain. If we are in the early part of our career or life stage, we have many other things which we are taking care of. Getting settled into the job, enjoying life, spending time with the person whom we love, thinking about buying the first car, own house, going for vacation, etc., etc. Also, we have seen that the power of compounding has two main factors: time and return. Most of the time, the returns on your portfolio will be market linked, which in turn is dependent on many external factors, almost all of which are something you cannot control as an individual. So to cut the conversation short, the short answer, according to me, would be between 35 and 40 years, especially if your client is looking for an earlier retirement.
Great, thank you. That was nice and short. Tell me, considering the regular expenses, keeping the inflation in mind, what is the target amount that any person should target for retirement accumulation? Because there are always multiple priorities. How do you start saving, and what should be that amount?
No, again, one of the reasons that many of us do not do a particular activity is because we think it is going to be very complex and it is very difficult to do it. Same is with retirement planning. I cannot tell you the amount directly, as there is no common amount for everybody. There is no amount fit for all. The target corpus for retirement should be decided based on the target age of retirement, the amount of annual expenses required in today's cost, the inflation risk, the post-retirement portfolio returns, and also the projection of the life expectancy. All these factors put together, you have to consider what is the amount you're looking. Also, another factor, one should also consider which city, especially for India, is one going to live in. And staying in Mumbai, you know, the cost of living is very high in Mumbai compared to if I stay in Nasik. Also take into account if there are any major milestones on which you would be spending money post-retirement, like kids, marriages, etc. But for a ballpark figure, if you ask me, and we keep on telling it to people, that in order to maintain your lifestyle at your uh, whatever you when you are earning, it's going to come down, because you know you will eat less outside food, you will do less amount of vacationing. There are a lot of excesses, and COVID has taught us a lot of things. Like, we are doing a lot of excess things in our life. 1.5 cr to 2 crore is a good amount, you know, uh, for two people, as an accumulated fund on which you can, you know, lead a healthy life after retirement. But it again depends on people to people, person to person, place to place, and what all your ambitions. Now, if you want to say, no, after retirement, after 60, I want to take a trip, foreign trip every alternate month, then it will all will be different amount altogether.
Great. So you're saying for an average living, 1.5 to 2 crore is a good amount, depending on the city and the aspirations you have post retirement.
Absolutely.
Okay, so if you want to simplify, if you want to make it almost like a thumb rule, what are the top 3 things one should keep in mind while planning for retirement?
First and foremost, if I have given an opportunity to answer this to myself itself, I'd say start early. I cannot
Start early.
stress this enough. One important reason for this is that when you have more time, you have the comfort of investing in equity. The other important reason for this is the time plays a huge factor in the power of compounding, which is also referred to as the eighth wonder of the world. You are working hard to ensure and your loved ones have a great life. The power of compounding ensures that the money that you invest also works equally hard for you. Disciplined approach of investing. Invest regularly in a disciplined manner. Every one of us must choose one of the two pains, the pain of discipline or the pain of regret. Or if I put it in words, discipline is choosing between what you want now and what you want most. And in the initial accumulation period, there are two phases, accumulation and what? Withdrawal. You know, you must know in a retirement, these are commonly used words. In the initial accumulation period, uh, invest in portfolio which have a higher expected rate of return and taper off towards conservative as your retirement need approaches or as your retirement age approaches. This is a glide path approach, and it helps the client to strike the right balance between getting the maximum returns on the portfolio and at the same time reducing risk over a period of time.
Oh, great. Thank you. Thank you. So you're saying that you try and start early. Maybe if you start early, then you can start with a more aggressive portfolio. As you come close to your milestone, try and move toward more conservative, more assured returns.
Absolutely.
But again, I'll push you for a thumb rule. If I have to make investments, you know, what portion of my investment I should keep for retirement?
Again, my answer will be the same. It differs from one person to another. But if I were to advise the vast majority, they should be looking at investing at least 25% of their investable surplus for retirement. As one moves up in their life stage, you know, one should increase this proportion. My investable surplus increases, many other financial milestones are already, you know, reached, and I start seeing retirement on the horizon. So in addition to this, you should be disciplined on your investments and remain investing for the longer period of time.
And you know, we are insurance guys, so you know ULIP and you know guaranteed products. You know, how should one decide whether to pick up equities like ULIP products or guaranteed product for retirement?
Okay, let me divide this in two parts, the accumulation phase and the withdrawal phase. First, I will talk about the accumulation phase. When we are accumulating the money, the question definitely incorporates that diversification is an important aspect that should be followed while you are trying to build your retirement purpose. Many investors are of the opinion that they should invest only in guaranteed products. You keep on hearing that I want to put only in products which will give me a fixed return. The challenge here is that the returns on guaranteed products will not be sufficient to beat the inflation level. And this will hamper your efforts to reach your targeted purpose. So you definitely need equity in your basket. So in a portfolio, when you start investing for the retirement goal, so obviously your ULIP will play a very important role. The exact amount of equity in the overall asset allocation should be determined based on the risk profile of the customers and follow the glide path as the goal approaches, as I told you. During the withdrawal phase, there comes your, preservation of capital. Hence, the focus will be more on guaranteed return and products that are minimum volatility. Don't do any maverick. Don't do any, go ahead and put something which will create a lot of tension in your mind. So again, a glide path approach, equity move, percentage of equity come down and your fixed income goes up.
Right. So one of our leading advisor, he's asking a question that what should one plan as a return of investment, plus what should be the assumption on inflation rate while planning and calculating retirement. Because that there are various calculators available in the market, which helps you plan for retirement. But a lot of people, when it comes to expected return on investment, and also, when you plan for inflation, there are various theories. People say plan more aggressive inflation. Some people say inflation is going to be 4-5%. What's the realistic inflation and what is the realistic return of investment one should expect?
That's a very, very important question and good question being asked by your people. I think both inflation and interest plays a very important role. I'll give you some practical theory and practical thing what we are doing it. Like when 2011, I started our retirement planning. So right now I'm into fintech. I provide retirement service, retirement planning software, not into retirement planning advisory, but a software we made. So we keep on changing the inflation rate and the rate of interest. So in 2011, we were considering the inflation rate to be around 7 to 8%. Okay. Now with economic scenario changes and stuff like that, what is happening all across in India and all, we slowly tapered it down from a 8 to 5% to 4% is the inflation rate which we are keeping it. Okay.
And what is the realistic
rate of return
investment?
also has come down. Sorry, Anurag.
Sorry, I was asking the same question. What is the realistic rate of return one should expect?
So realistic rate of return, return what we are considering again in 2011 is around 9%. Obviously, it's a myth or it's a dream to get a 9% consistently from any kinds of product. So here we are considering around 7.5% return, and it has to be a mix of both, like not more than that.
Right. And I assume 7% means there will be a tax aspect also, because most of the retirement product available, they're taxable in nature, right? And that's what, that's what deters people. They believe that most of the insurance product, they offer tax-free returns, but when it comes to annuities are taxable.
Annuity is being treated as an income in your hand, so it is being treated as the same rate of tax, what is your income tax slab you are falling in actually. So that's why it's an income. And though you guys are coming out with annuity product from the insurance companies, but I think this is one of the product where in maturity it is taxed.
Right. All right. So thank you very much, Mr. Sudipto. I think you have given us a lot of insights today. And as I was sharing, a lot of such seminars, what is important is that if you pick up 2 or 3 relevant points, which you could use in your sales presentation, it will carry huge weightage, right? I would request you to stay for some more time if you could. Sure. We wanted to also share with our audience that we have established the problem. In our sales process, we have two stages. One is establishing the problem, and the second stage is providing the solution. So what I'm trying to do is that we've tried to evangelize the need of retirement solution. What I'll try and do is I'll share with you a small presentation on how can you solve a customer problem by giving a solution which is very, very compelling in today's time. So Vinod, can you please run the presentation?
Sure, Anurag.
So it's very interesting, in the current times when everything is so volatile. आप stock market एक दिन up है, दूसरे दिन down है. A lot of people, they are worried about what is going to happen to their mutual funds. A lot of people are still looking at fixed deposit. Fixed deposit में हिंदुस्तान का almost 70% पैसा पड़ा होता है, जो लोग सेव करते हैं. And look at what has happened during this time. Despite drop in interest rate, जो interest rate आज की डेट में 4.5-5% के आसपास आ गए, एक टाइम में 7% हुआ करते थे. Even that time, look at the bank FD. Bank FD rates have doubled from last year in the Q1. 6 lakh crore of money has gone to, fixed deposit, which means consumer is worried. They want surety, they want assurance, they don't want volatility. Of course, there are people who will use current opportunity of lower equity rates to buy ULIP. If they have the risk appetite, they must buy ULIP. But people who are concerned about their finances, who don't have the risk appetite, they should look for guarantee. And that's the reason people are going towards fixed deposit. Let's move forward. I'm not sure if all of you are able to see it. I will try and demystify this to all of you. जो आप लेफ्ट हैंड साइड में देख रहे हैं, ये एफडी रेट्स हैं. अगर आप एफडी रेट देखें, और ये हमने लास्ट मंथ के एसबीआई के एफडी रेट रखे हुए हैं, जहां पे दिखा रहा है कि एफडी रेट्स जो हैं वो 3.4% से लेके 5.5% के आसपास चल रहे हैं, राइट? एंड ऑल ऑफ यू नो फिक्स्ड डिपॉजिट के रिटर्न टैक्सेबल होते हैं, राइट? एंड फिक्स्ड डिपॉजिट पे कोई इंश्योरेंस बिल्ट इन नहीं होता. द मैक्सिमम फिक्स्ड डिपॉजिट इंश्योरेंस इज ओनली 1 लाख रुपीज, राइट? ऑन द राइट हैंड साइड, अगर आप नहीं देख पा रहे हैं तो मैं आपको बताता हूं कि ये एक एग्जांपल है कंपैरिजन विद फिक्स्ड डिपॉजिट एंड आर स्मार्ट वेल्थ प्लान, जहां पे अगर आप 8 साल पैसा फिक्स्ड डिपॉजिट में लगाते हैं और 8 साल पैसा एसडब्ल्यूपी में लगाते हैं, तो रिटर्न में डिफरेंस कितना है. और हमने एज्यूम किया है कि जिस तरह से इंटरेस्ट रेट्स कम आ रहे हैं उस तरह से ही इंटरेस्ट रेट कम आते रहेंगे. तो एसडब्ल्यूपी में अगर आप 2 लाख रुपए 8 साल तक लगाते हैं, तो यू विल बी स्पेंडिंग close to 16 lakh rupees in this fixed deposit. On maturity, you will get almost 28 lakh 40,000 rupees as return, and on which, if I take a normal tax slab, you will be paying 2 lakh 48,000 rupees tax. So the net return you will get from FD will be 2 lakh 59,000, sorry, 25 lakh 92,000. If you take the example of SWP, the same duration, same amount being paid, you will get a maturity which is 32 lakh 16,000, which is tax free. And so the money difference that you will have between putting your money in FD or putting your money in SWP, the difference is 6 lakhs 23,000, right? Just think about it. You could do this calculation on your own. And keep in mind, we are not talking about any insurance amount in fixed deposit, right? We are not talking about any assurance of reinvestment, interest. All of that will be variable in nature. Let's move forward. So I'm giving you one example. And the example is, if you recall, if you connect with what Mr. Roy has shared, that the average lifespan after retirement is about 19 years. So the guy who retires at the age of 60 years will have to fund for retirement till 79. An urban Indian will actually live till 84, 85 years of age. So we've taken an example where a customer who's 35 years of age, as Mr. Roy said, 35, 40 is the right age to plan for retirement. He pays for 10 years. He pays for 10 years a premium of 5 lakh rupees, right? You pay, can you go forward? You pay a premium of total 50 lakh rupees. You will get a return of 4,74,000 for 25 years, fully guaranteed, fully tax-free, and on maturity, you will get a guaranteed income of 50 lakh rupees, which is again tax-free in the hand of the customer. Okay, which means that if you are an urban customer, if you're looking at planning your retirement, along with all your instrument, there are some people who say, I'll put my money in real estate. Real estate में पैसा लगा दूंगा, मुझे rental income आ जाएगी, right? In the current times, they can't even talk about that because the rental income from real estate has gone down. Okay, there are people who say that I will put money in fixed deposit. Almost all the senior citizens have very big exposure in fixed deposit. But look at the way fixed deposit rates are coming down. Same is the case with post office return. Same is the case with Kisan Vikas Patra. All such instruments which offer guaranteed returns, either they have become taxable or the returns have come down. You have a product, a beautiful product in your hand, which is offering tax-free guaranteed returns, ranging between 5% to 5.8%. When you convert that into a pre-tax income, it will be around 8% pre-tax income, right? Let's move forward. Let's look at the return the person is getting. A person who's paying 50 lakh rupees of money is actually getting a return of 1.68 crores. 50 lakh रुपए आप invest कर रहे हैं and you are getting a return of 1.68 crore, right? What is the give and get? If you were to simplify it, आपको basically आप 100 रुपए लगा रहे हैं, आपको उसका 3.3 times वापस मिल रहा है, right? And last but not the least, Mr. Sudipto talked about the need of retirement. I have shared with you the product solution that we have in our basket, which offers 25 years of guaranteed income to the customer and completely tax-free return. This return, like any other return, is not permanent in nature. Today, when the interest rates are coming down, right, where the repo rates are coming down, these returns are not going to be sustainable. So you will see that we may have to revise our return of Smart Wealth Plan downwards, right, in the month of October. So it's a limited period opportunity for each one of you. If you have some customers who've opened accounts, right, who are seriously considering buying product from you, time to tell them that the current rates are not sustainable. If they want to buy, they should buy now because they can lock in their money at much higher interest rates, right? So use the month of September to educate all your customers to buy SWP if they are considering retirement planning, if they're considering guaranteed product. This is the right time for them to go for it. So that's all that I wanted to share with you. Once again, thank you very much, Mr. Roy, for being with us today. Thanks, Vinod, for organizing it. And back to you, Vinod. If in case you have questions, we have people from product team. We have people from training team. They will note down your points and come back to you. Thank you very much and all the best.
Sure. Thank you so much, Anurag. And thanks, Mr. Sudipto Roy, for joining us and sharing your valuable insight. Thank you once again. I also want to thank all our team members who have joined on this webinar. We hope you found it useful and are excited to talk to your prospect and your customer to help them plan their second inning even better. Have a great weekend ahead. All the very best. Thank you.